Okay, if you're someone who is currently in university or you're in school and you're studying and you're making zero money, you're not making anything right now, okay? I really recommend listening to this because I was in a very, very similar situation. I was making nothing, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I learned to do tuition and scale up clients to the point where it's making like 1 to 2K a month now, like 3K on like a really good month, and it's something that, unlike other business ideas and everything, in the long run, it's not going to be ideal. But to get you started, I personally think it's very good to get you started. It's what I started with, and I'm very glad that I did because it can get you making money within the next like a week or two. You'll actually be making like good money, right? And it's a good start if you've made nothing in the past. So, what am I talking about? What I'm talking about is tutoring, specifically online tutoring. Now, you definitely want to do it online. I would not do this in person, okay? I did do it in person, but doing it online is just so much easier, okay? What we want to do is it's kind of like a job, but it isn't in some aspects. I'm going to tell you why later, right? We want to kind of craft an income, and currently it's going to be an income that we're going to give up our time for initially, okay? We're going to give our time up for it, and it's going to really be our first stepping stone in terms of beginning our financial journey. And it's exactly what I did. So I started tutoring when I was 16 years old. I would go to people's houses after school and I would teach their kids for like, I would teach maths basically. Yeah, Asian parents, I'm good at maths, right, whatever. Sorry, I get it. I would teach maths like 2 hours and I get £20 an hour. So that'd be £40. Just like £40 in my pocket in cash, just like that. For me, that was quite a big deal, to be honest, right? And I'd go every single week and I'd make £40 just for 2 hours of work. So I was thinking, why don't I scale this, right? If you're somebody who you take your studies seriously, you work hard, right? Or you're looking to do that, you're looking to take this all a bit more seriously, then I would really recommend considering tutoring. Like if you want to start making like some decent-ish money straight away, 100% I would consider this. Now, how do we actually start doing this? How do we get into it? Because a common issue is nobody knows how to get their first client. Because once you get your first client, it's a lot easier because you teach them. Hopefully, it goes well. You get a review. You use that testimonial to get more clients, and then they give you a good review, and then you just grow. It grows by itself. Like for me, it grew by itself without really doing much. So, but how do we start? Well, the first thing you have to establish is what can you teach? Basically, what subjects are you good at? Ideally, right, if you've achieved a good grade in your past exams and it's the same exam that future students are going to sit, right? So if you're from the UK, you'll know what I'm talking about. You got like GCSEs, right? At the end of year 11, like when you're like 16, you'll sit them. Like let's say you got like top grades in your GCSEs. Let's say you got top grades in maths. You could very easily teach GCSE maths, right? It's all about finding your first client or two. And whatever educational system that your country uses, if you know that system fairly well because you've gone through it yourself, you've gotten a good grade. If what I'm saying is like you can relate, you're in a very good position to start tutoring. If you're someone who's gone through the system and your grades aren't great, then I'm sorry, this is going to be kind of hard to do unless you can teach like a skill. Like if you're very good at like an instrument, then you could do that, and that's the same logic, right? But if you haven't got good grades to back yourself, then this is going to be difficult because you do need. That's like the first layer of like credibility. My head's having a seizure, whatever. Right. So how do we get our first client? I'll tell you what I did. So I started year 12, I was 16, 17 years old, doing my A-levels, which were maths, further maths, physics and econ. I literally asked my maths teacher, about 3 weeks in, right? I asked her, I really want to get into tuition. Is there anyone like in the younger years who needs tuition? And literally by asking that, 2 weeks later I got a client. I couldn't believe it. Like just by asking that, I managed to get a client. Was that lucky? Maybe yes. Do I deserve that client? I don't know. Well, I got it, right? So I suggest if you're like in a similar position where you can ask like a teacher, maybe they can link you up with somebody who you could start tutoring. And once you have the first person, it gets a lot easier. It starts to do it itself, okay? If you haven't got that available, then what I would say is like ask your parents, ask like family friends, because before I even did that, I used to go to like a family friend's house and I would teach them for free just to get some experience. And then eventually like they paid me a little bit, and that was like my first kind of experience. So they were family friends though, so it wasn't quite the same, you know, but I'm so grateful that they gave me that opportunity to just to get stuck in basically and get used to how this all works. So you want to ask your teacher, for your subject, is there anyone like younger year groups who you could possibly like teach or mentor, right? And hopefully you can get someone like that. If not, then I would suggest like asking family friends, asking like friends of friends. You know, initially, if no one's saying yes, just say I'll do it for free. Honestly, just do it for free initially, right? I know you want to make money, right, and everything, and you want to like start getting that bag. Yeah, I get it, right? I get it. But honestly, just do it for free initially so you get some experience. Help them improve. If they've actually improved and you've got some results for them, then that actually gives you a bit of leverage to get someone else. But if you've got nothing to show for yourself, then like why would anyone hire you? Do you know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid of doing it for free initially. Alright, once you have got your first client, which I'm hoping is what you've got now, right? It's quite simple. You start teaching them. You can do it online, right? I do it via Zoom. I've got like a little pen tablet like this, like one of these. I'll put like a link in the description for the one that I use, but because I teach maths, so I use like OneNote. I share my screen, and I'll go through the syllabus that they use, so their exam specification, and basically I'll just start going through it and see where they're at. And you kind of pick up how to teach as you go along, and eventually it becomes second nature. Like I don't really have to think about it now. I just kind of do it. I know what questions to give. I know what topics to work on because I've been doing it for about 2 years. What's nice is that it's quite a nice steady income. And what's really good about it, unlike a traditional job, because it is similar to a job in the sense that you're still giving up your time for money, and you are still doing that, right? But there's something else I'm going to talk about very shortly. But aside from that, with online tutoring, you can do it on your own accord. You can do it on your own accord. So, for example, for me, I teach on Mondays in the evenings. So I teach like 3 hours on Mondays. I teach 4 hours on Wednesday night. And I teach 4 hours on Saturday morning. And that's all my lessons clustered into the times that I want to teach, right? And that pays me like £300 for the week. Or like maybe a bit more sometimes, because I also, eventually with your tuition, right, you start teaching people, you get good reviews, and then you can get more clients. If you want, you can also expand it under the umbrella of a brand. So now you can make your own brand. I had my own little brand for it. And what I did was eventually, as I got more clients, eventually it got to the point where I couldn't teach them anymore. There were actually too many people. So I would outsource teachers, right? So usually I would get my friends and they would come and they would teach. And I'd pay them like £15 an hour and I would pocket £10. So like right now I've got like 2 tutors. One does English, one does maths. And between them they do like 7 hours a week or something like that, right? So basically I get £70 passive a week because I become a middleman, right? And this concept of being a middleman is used in business a lot. So I think it's a really good starting point, because like other business models, like social media marketing and that kind of stuff, right? You'll be like a middleman. You'll bridge the agents. You'll bridge the brand with the person who does the advertising, and you'll make like a massive commission out of it. That's like a proper business model. Like Iman Gadzhi talked about it a little bit, if you guys know who that is. And it's the same kind of social skills and concepts and understanding of interactions you need, which is quite valuable. You're just doing it on a slightly lower scale, and it just gets your feet wet. You kind of get used to, you kind of like, it's a quite a easy way to get into business that isn't like super like intensive, but it gives you a flavor. That's what it does. It gives you a little flavor, right? And you can start tutoring and put your hours when you want. And I charge like £30 an hour right now, which is like $37 or something like that an hour is how much I do. I mean, yeah, I'm not making like 10k a month yet. I'm getting there, but I'm not making like 10k a month. But like, it's a decent start. Because now you've got some income coming in, you know, like a good couple $100 a week, right? That's fairly steady, okay? And with that, you can start to invest that, and also you're going to have time to work on other businesses that will not make you money now, but they may make you a lot later. For example, setting up a channel on YouTube and growing that audience and selling your audience something. Very common business model. Social media marketing, that kind of stuff. Like, there's a lot of business models that can make you a lot more money than tutoring. I'm not going to dispute that. They will, but they won't make you money right now. These will make you money right now. It's a very, very good starting point to get some income, like, coming in the bag, like, because the sooner the better, really. So spending a bit of time setting that up, and once you've got that set up, then now you can kind of relax. You've got some money coming in. The hours are flexible. It's not a full-time job. You're not on a contract, bro. You're not on a contract. No one's gonna fire you. I mean, a client may like finish with you, but like, it's not like where it's permanent. It's kind of under the radar, under the books a little bit. I would not recommend going with a company and doing this, right? I would do it privately, personally. I do it privately. I was thinking about doing it through a company, but the company would like take your money, and it's just not like, your hours won't be as flexible, right? When you do it privately, you got full control. You got full control over the situation, and I think that's pretty powerful, personally. So if what I have said has interested you and you want to get into tuition, right? If you type up Maths Ace, so MATHS ACE on Instagram, so MATHS ACE, that was my tuition brand that I ran for like about 2 years. I stopped running it now because, for me at least, branding on like social media and that kind of stuff, and like making content, I had like a graphic designer and everything, like it didn't really generate any new leads. So my social media marketing is flawed for my business, at least for this tuition kind of business. But I got most of my clients from reviews. Like, I would like text a client that I've had for like maybe like a couple months now. I'd be like, oh, I'd really appreciate it if you can just like send my name out to a couple more people if you can. And if you've got a good relationship with the clients, with the parents and the students are getting better, a lot of the time that they will do that for you. And that will really help you out, because you'll get more clients, which will make you more money, more experience. And you can always have this in your back pocket, basically. It's very, very powerful. So if you've never made any money, look into it. All right. And just ask people, bro. Just ask anyone you think who could help set you up. If no one's gonna pay you initially, then do it for free and get some experience. Once you've got a bit of results, just keep asking people, and you will eventually get somebody. Like, even put like a little poster up in school or something. Like, I'm telling you, all you need is your first client. All you need is the first one. You get the first one, you get a review out of that, and then that review will help you to get more clients. That's it. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you guys want more videos about money and finance and that kind of stuff. Like, I'm not making like stupid money, right? I'm not making like crazy money, but I'm making like a decent amount. And like my YouTube, my Skillshare, like courses, like coaching, this kind of stuff, like that's all starting to make me money now. Like within the last month, it started to make me money. Literally within the last like month or two, it started to make me money. For the longest time, it was just tuition only. And now everything's coming into play. I don't really count like my crypto gains and all that kind of stuff, because I've made like a good amount from that as well, but it's not realized. Like, I don't take it out of my account. I just leave it in there and I grow it more and I grow it more. So that's something else. But if this has been helpful, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll link all my social skills stuff in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.